You. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a round of applause and let's welcome our next presenter, Deepali Mahesh.
Hi, everyone awake? I'm sure after Atin's presentation, everyone is. It was just a wake-up call, right, for most companies. Anyways, I will make it quick with one statement that I've been hearing over the last 2 days. Everyone's been talking ROI, everyone's been talking content is king, everyone's talking where is my content and all of that. Now, for introductions, I'm Deepali Mahesh, Managing Director, India for AdStream. I'm here today to present to you some insights into how creative asset management can turn into a competitive advantage. I'll present the benefits and the imperatives of how, if you were to actually put all of your creative content in one single platform, this could actually be beneficial for marketers like you. So what is it that we are going to take over today is that if you were to actually see today, we have so much content being created as we speak. And, I'm sorry, I clicked to the next slide. As we speak, content is getting created, right? I'm sure a lot of your agencies are already working on, actioning a lot of campaigns here. Before we actually move further into the presentation, I'm sure you probably heard a bit of news regarding AdStream. AdStream has been recently acquired Extreme Reach has recently acquired AdStream. Extreme Reach is a company that seamlessly integrates video ad campaign, video ad serving, campaign delivery for connected TV, linear TV, talent and rights management, all of it into one single platform. AdStream, on the other hand, is the world's most powerful advertising content delivery system on one single platform. Then it has footprint in 40 countries. We help advertisers and brands reach out to over 70,000 publishers across the world in the most secure form. When we decided to have this strategic union, we were very excited about this because there is a lot more than common between the two companies. It has resulted in the formation of a single unified platform, which not only simplifies multi-channel campaign activation, but it also gives you complete visibility, reporting, and analytics through the end-to-end process workflow. Well, why do you think it is essential for you to have visibility of your marketing content supply chain? You might ask, what is it so critical about understanding where my assets are, what is getting created, who's having them, where am I repurposing them, can I repurpose them? But that brings me back to the same statement I made earlier, ROI. Everyone here in this room has been talking about ROI. But do I really have my finger on the ROI of every content piece that I generate today? Do I really know how much of it can be repurposed, how much of it has been created, who's actually having them? Well, global markets do have their set of own complexities, but India has its own challenges, right? With over 14 broadcast languages, with over 900 plus linear TV destinations. I haven't even started on connected TV destinations yet. Well, India has its own set of challenges. There are regional nuances, there are language versioning issues, there are language, we need to be aware of cultural sensitivities that might be at play. And all of this is actually resulting in a lot of assets being created by different teams working in different regions, trying to collaborate with each other, trying to access these assets for different screens all over the various parts of delivery that is there, the various publishers. This actually leads to a study. We actually try to understand this better through a study. What is it? What are the key pain points that are bothering marketers today? Well, brands today, like I said, are producing more content than ever. content leaders, while they are trying to understand how engaging their content is by understanding how many, how many recalls do I have, how many click-throughs have I had, what kind of engagement am I driving through, let's say lead generation is happening. All of that is fine, but are you really going upstream to understand what kind of investment have I done in creating that piece of content? Gaining end-to-end visibility of the creative process will not only help marketeers understand the true ROI of your content asset, but it probably will also drive higher reuse of or redeployment of that asset into further media types that you might want to invest in. This will also result in saving time and resources. Now, the 4 common points, sitting where we do in the advertising ecosystem, AdStream has a unique view of all the pain points that the marketers and the obstacles that marketers usually face, because we deal in with all media types, we deal in with all kinds of publishers, we deal in with all kind of content across 40 countries in that many languages. So you have a fairly, I would say a bird's eye view of everything that's actually, probably causing pain. Let's take at the 4 most common pain points that we have put it on. Okay, this is. I just had a conversation over lunch with one of the marketeers, and he said this exact thing to me. I have an agency who has to deploy the campaign. They created the assets themselves, but they don't know where those are, right? So I don't know who's using which of my content, which assets are out there, who's using them in which market, who has control, who has access to them, and why does this become even more complex? Because different teams across different regions are producing or accessing this content, and they are just kind of piling it up into different silos, right? You have your social media agencies creating content, and the data resides with them. Your television creative agent, the creative agencies creating content for linear TV have their assets in their own place. So basically, what it is all leading to is that your creative workflow is disconnected, right? Your assets are in different places with different teams, and each of them has a vendor who's giving them a point solution to just how to transfer the assets, how to transcode them, how to convert them. But essentially, it is still in silo. It is still siloed. It isn't seamless, and obviously, it isn't centralized. You, as a marketer, have no control over what is happening at your agencies, because the agency is outsourcing it to somebody else, maybe a post-production house. Your creative agency doesn't have all the assets that you have commissioned them to create. At times, you're not able to tag them up, right? You're not able to track them down in any form. The second main pain point is, as boundaries dissolve between geographies, you kind of get into, can we actually repurpose one asset into another platform? But do I have the rights? Is all of the content that I'm running in compliance with my contractual obligations on talent and rights issues, right? So if I've signed up a celebrity, it's even worse, because one single misuse could actually lead to a serious damage. So at times you're not able to, because it's physically, or rather, it's really impossible when you have a plethora of assets being created for various media types, and you have to understand how much of it to track and what rights do I have, and if a campaign is, let's say for example, if a campaign has worked well for you, can I actually extend it onto digital from linear TV or vice versa? But do I have the rights to that? I have no clue, because most often than not, what happens is that all of this data around rights and talent never resides along with your assets. Some companies might have, some companies do have data asset management platforms, structured within the company, but most often, or most certainly, the talent data never resides with your content. So if you were to, let's say, redeploy that into another geography, you have to actually check your contractual obligations. What happens then? Specifically, what happens is you tend to miss an opportunity, because you just probably thought of repurposing this onto another media, and you are unable to do that because you don't know whether you do have the rights to do so. The third important point is, and this is a pain point a marketer just voiced out to me, I need a campaign to be released today, and actually want to kind of reformat this asset, or I want to change the versioning or get into version this asset into another format and quickly deploy it. But why does this become difficult? Because one, reaching consumers today is not easy. You need to go to OTT, CTV, social, digital, all of this media, and all of these media types. The entire journey from the file creation to delivery is different. Every pathway is different. The delivery formats are different. The transcodes are different. So what format works on digital TV will not work on connected TV, on connected TV, or on digital will not work on connected, and then linear. So then how do you actually prepare all of this? What happens is that effectively 83% of most video content campaigns are delayed. You lose out an opportunity. You do not have the asset ready in the format that you require. You're not able to create it in a format that is required quickly, from one platform to another. When concepts like moment marketing, omnichannel campaigns, these are all going to be commonplace in marketing strategies sooner, and instant access to compliant content is going to be gaining greater importance than ever before. You will have to be ready with your content to be created, to be transferred into the right format, and quickly being delivered to that platform owner or that publisher. You will have to be ready with all of that. But if you do not have the availability of information and the access to those assets, how would you do that? It is difficult to do it at the point right now because TV delivery and video ad serving are usually handled by two different vendors. There are multiple agencies handling and different vendors handling. These assets are usually not centralized, and you do not have efficient tracking and retrieval systems because you have very less visibility today. You're dependent on an agency. Your agency is probably dependent on a producer sometimes. To a very classic case is when you actually start changing, for example, your agency, you mandatorily change your agencies, and you want to actually get back or retrieve all your assets from them that you created over time. The agency just puts their hands up and says, listen, we have only up till the last 2 years. We do not have any more assets residing with us. Then what do? It's assets commissioned by you, but you're not able to retrieve them in the right form and manner. And sourcing becomes a pain then. The final fourth main point is, data, and more data. The depth and breadth of data that is currently required to be analyzed quickly into actionable insights is just mind-boggling. And most often than not, marketers today need this actionable insights, right, to drive effective decision making. But if the depth of the data is so much that you cannot, and there is no consistency, right? The TV delivery data or the TV data is on one platform, the social media data is on one platform, the digital media data is on one platform. When all of this is so disparate, how do you actually drive an effective decision? And this actually brings us to a very important point where you say that, yes, marketers are looking for insight to drive actionable insights, but if I do not have all of it in one view, how will I be able to understand what should I retract and what should I push forward? Why is this so hard? Because obviously, different platforms and reporting on various channels is not always consistent. Their disparate data makes it difficult to actually put it across and commonize or understand even what kind of commonalities are there in the data sets, or even what kind of differences are there in the data sets. The rights usage is most often never fully integrated into the content, and therefore you are not able to understand which assets can be deployed further or not. This actually is somewhat what your current advertising ecosystem looks. You have different agencies working in different silos. So 4 different pain points, although they are different and they're affecting different processes on the advertising life cycle, they actually stem from only one reason: a disconnected workflow. I know my time's up, but I'll just take 2 more minutes if you allow me. Yes. So what I was trying to put together earlier is the disconnected workflow. So the disconnected workflow is causing these main pain points for you in terms of what are our 4 main points: lack of transparency on creative, incapability to source the assets in the right format when required. you don't have the understanding of data across your advertising workflow for actionable insights, and you do not understand what kind of talent and rights, contractual obligations do I have? Can I repurpose my content again next year? Can I extend a campaign that's working well for me? Can I extend it beyond the next 6 months? Can I actually go back? If we were to actually put all of this together, the solution for all of this is to have a single asset management platform, which marketers can actually leverage to drive not only insights, but also put all of the information right from the beginning of creating your brand stories to reaching your consumers. At each point, you have every partner of yours contributing to this one single workflow. And when you do that, all of these problems can be solved, because when they leverage this platform to drive insights, and yet, these are actually interrelated but yet separate functions, right? They're separate functions, but they're very closely interrelated for a marketer. For a marketer, it is one single process, from brand creation, the story creation, to reaching out to the consumer. So if you were to put all of this together on a single global single global platform that actually manages not only your assets, but also the deployment, the end publishing of your content, then the upstream data that can be integrated into it will only drive better insights and better decision making. Finally, okay, I know all of us want to forget how COVID hit us hard, but there was this very pertinent impact on our industry, as we realized, and we've been right in the middle of it, because when productions shut down, and marketers were scrambling to understand, where is my content? Production's down. I can't create any new marketing content. I can't create advertising. I probably need to access what I already have, repurpose in some way, to kind of create another version of it quickly. Add on something and get on. We realized that there was a huge uptick in all our clients accessing a creative asset management platform, because in one place they had all the assets with all the talent data, with all the metadata around the agency that created it, the producer who worked on it, the music rights, the video rights, the channels that they even carried up in the past. All of it was sitting in one platform. So they quickly accessed it, quickly sent it to their permission partners, and asked them to rework it and repurpose it. So the guys who were nimble enough to do that actually succeeded, for speed to market, even in a situation like that. And that was a huge learning for us, for the necessity of platforms like this for global brands. And when I mean global brands, we had P&Gs of the world, the Colgate, all of our key clients, the Amazons of the world, the Flipkarts of the world, who just waiting to understand how they could make most of the situation. There was very little resource available at that point in time in the market. People weren't available. There was not an option to actually physically go and get work done. So when when they realized that they do have access to this readily, this really worked for them. So while I understand we do not want to remember anything, but this was a huge learning for us and also for our brands. Okay, change is the only constant, as we all say, but it's important for marketers to adapt as we go. We will find solutions. We will find more and more innovative solutions to address our problems. The 4 pain points, those will continue if you decide to still continue to with your disparate workflows. But if you were to actually take stock of everything that is happening around your marketing, content, supply chain, then this is the only answer. Futures Bright, thank you.